Yale students held a vigil just hours after authorities confirmed their worst fears. The body found Sunday lodged inside a basement wall at a Yale research facility was Leigh, a 24-year-old PhD student who stood at 4'11" and weighed 90 pounds.
This tragic case takes us to New Haven, Connecticut. It has a population of around 130,000 people, and is known for its easygoing charm. The city is very diverse with people of different cultures and backgrounds. New Haven is often considered to be one of the most unique in the United States, with a long rich history and is well known for being home to Yale University. And it is at this prestigious university that a doctorate student of pharmacology went missing, and later, found stuffed behind a wall. This is Annie Leigh, at just 5 feet tall and about 90 pounds, is always described as bigger than her actual size. According to YaleAlumniMagazine.org, Annie is smart, fun-loving, and endlessly energetic. Born in San Jose, California on July 3, 1985, Annie graduated as valedictorian from Union Mine High School in El Dorado, California. She was voted most likely to succeed, and she definitely lived up to that title. Annie earned a scholarship and attended and graduated from the University of Rochester in New York. This is also where Annie met her future fiancé, Jonathan Widawsky. She always wanted to make a difference in the world, so she worked diligently and was accepted into a graduate program at Yale University, where she earned a doctorate in pharmacology. There, she focused her research on enzymes that are involved in diabetes, muscular dystrophy, and certain forms of cancer. And it is there, during one of her experiments, that this 24-year-old, a life full of potential, came to a tragic end. This is Raymond Clark III. He was 24 years old at the time of the murder. He was engaged to Jennifer Hromadka, who worked in the same building as Raymond. He was hired as a laboratory technician to do custodial work at the same building where Annie worked. According to some co-workers, they said that Raymond had a reputation of being angry with students who left the lab untidy after finishing their work. An unnamed source told ABC News that Raymond was hard on students who left the lab dirty, making more work for him. Raymond had also previously emailed Annie to complain about her leaving dirty mice cages behind after one of her studies. He was hired in December 2004, and based on his previous employment history, there was no indication that he could commit the heinous act that he did. On the morning of Tuesday, September 8, 2009, Annie left her apartment and headed toward Sterling Hall of Medicine on the Yale campus. Everything indicated that this was just another typical day at the lab. This was 5 days before she was to walk down the aisle. At around 7 a.m., Raymond was seen entering the animal research lab located on Yale's campus, at 10 Amistad Street. At 10 a.m., Annie walked from her office at Sterling Hall to the animal research lab, located only a few blocks away. She was last seen entering the building with a green top and a dark-colored skirt. As she was walking into the building, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. A few minutes after Annie was seen walking into the building, her last keycard access was logged entering room G13. Room G13 is a basement laboratory that contained experimental rats and equipment. A few minutes after Annie entered, records showed that Raymond also used his keycard entering room G13, where Annie was working alone. At 12:50 p.m., a fire alarm was activated and everyone in the building was seen leaving from the front entrance or from the side door, as seen by the building's CCTV. Although, one person was noticeably missing. And that was Annie. None of the footage from the 75 security cameras captured her leaving the building. Raymond, however, was captured leaving at the side door exit. Later that evening around 9 p.m., Annie's roommate reported her missing as she never returned home. It was not normal for this responsible 24-year-old to not come home or let anyone know where she was at. September 9, 2009. Police arrived at Annie's office located on the third floor of the Sterling Hall of Medicine. They found that her purse, pocketbook, cell phone and keys were still there. Although there were no signs of a struggle, police grew concerned because they knew Annie would not have left these items willingly. September 10, 2009. Raymond told the authorities that he saw Annie leaving the building, carrying 2 bags of mouse food and a notebook, 15 minutes before he left the building. September 12, 2009. Police searched and recovered a blood-stained sock above the hallway drop ceiling outside the lab. They also found a pair of work boots that were stained with blood along with a blue hospital scrub. Police declared the building an official crime scene. September 13, 2009. Police noticed the smell of a decomposing body in a locker room down the hall of room G13. Cadaver dogs were brought in to investigate this ominous indication. There, behind a small access panel, police and FBI agents found the body of Annie at 5 p.m. According to the New York Post, an unidentified police officer said that she was like mush, so smashed up you couldn't recognize her. The tragic ending for Annie was that she was found on the same day that should have been filled with happiness and joy, her wedding day. September 17, 2009. Police had enough evidence to connect Raymond to Annie's murder and arrested him at a budget Super 8 motel in Cromwell, Connecticut, about 25 miles away from the Yale campus.
Authorities got the green light shortly after 8 this morning. Immediately, barricades went up on the highway in front of the motel, and a team of FBI agents raced up the back stairs, straight to room 214. There they found Raymond Clark in a white shirt, tan pants, and soon he was wearing handcuffs. Hidden behind tinted windows, he was brought into the New Haven Police Department.
At the end. Even though Raymond Clark III pleaded guilty to murder and attempted sexual assault and is currently serving 44 years, it is still not enough for what he did to Annie. Annie worked hard her whole life and was at the pinnacle and final stretch of her academic career. She was so close to achieving what she set out to become, but due to one evil act of a selfish individual, that her full potential in life was cut short. It is unfair and very sad that Annie was not able to live her happily ever after with her fiancé and loved ones.